Hello, welcome to Mark's Cooking Show, featured by me, Mark. And first attempt at doing anything like this, but I just want to show how easy it is to make paella for you and your family and friends. And it's just a very fun, easy thing to do. You can prep all your ingredients ahead of time. Actually, I've done it all ahead of time. We were going to go to the lake this weekend, but weather made it kind of yucky to go, so we're just going to cook it at home here. But first thing you need, it's best to have a paella pan. They're very cheap. You could find them almost anywhere. You can order them online. It's just high speed, high carbon steel. So it's pretty thin, but it conducts heat very well. You could do this on any stove really. I've done it on an electric cooktop, but my preference here is I have a Camp Chef Ranger 2, but it's just outdoor type of thing. It's pretty hot today, so it's nice to cook outside. Here are some of the ingredients. So I have chorizo that had frozen and I just thawed it out. This is some chicken thighs with the skin on, and I have a link in the bio of a recipe I kind of based it off of. But I put all the seasoning ingredients on beforehand and froze them, and so I thawed those out too. Just some extra paprika, some saffron in here, crushed tomatoes from Aldi. All the rest of the stuff I bought from Aldi. So I got cut up peppers, onions, and garlic, sliced up, ready to go. That was all frozen as well, ready to go. Some chicken broth, white rice, basic white rice, some olive oil or avocado oil, and salt. And that's pretty much it. So first step, we're going to light the fire. Alright, let's heat up the pan, and then we can get started here. Okay, we already have smoke wisping off the pan. See that? It's pretty windy today too, but this has a little bit of a wind blocker, so hopefully we'll have good cooking today. I'm gonna add a little bit of the oil and then throw on the chicken. We're gonna sear and cook a little bit our chicken thighs that are pre-seasoned. This is really hot. It's been less than like 5 minutes that I've heated it up on the pan, but as you can see, the high carbon steel conducts heat very quickly. So I'm gonna start with skin side down. I'm gonna just pour the oil really quick and throw those guys down. And they're kind of frozen still, but that's okay. We're just looking to get a nice sear on these, because they're gonna cook later once we actually cover it up with the rice. And then the juices from the chicken are gonna like soak into the rice and everything. It's gonna be really good. I'm kind of crowding the pan, but I'm gonna space them apart here in a minute. Just want the oil to kind of get onto that skin. Woo! Piece of oil flew. Yeah, you gotta watch that. Maybe wear some closed-toe shoes and pants if you're able to, but we're cooking with oil now. And yeah, let me show you a better view. So we're cooking those chicken thighs. Gonna get a good sear on them. Gonna flip them and cook them for about 5 minutes, and then we'll set them aside. And we're gonna do the chorizo next. So we're just browning off the meat, and then once we do that, we'll add in our vegetables, the onion, garlic, and bell peppers, and that's essentially the sofrito, and that's going to make it all nice and yummy, and it's gonna pick up all those nice bits of charred, chicken and sausage and fat. It'll be really good. So we got a nice, beautiful crust on that chicken. So we're gonna pull it off now and then add the sausage. Right, set this chicken aside. So I'm just gonna put it on a plate here, get it ready to go for to come back on once we have all the rice and everything else done. So the chicken is actually gonna hang out here for a minute. So just having it in a plate or a covered dish. If you're camping, I did like one of those foil type of temporary foil dishes. Now we're gonna throw this sausage on, and it's gonna probably splatter again, so I'm gonna step back. Oh yeah. Woo! Yeah. Get that going. So as soon as the sausage is cooked, I'm just gonna throw in the onion and garlic, and then after that hangs out a little bit, we'll do the peppers. So once this pan gets hot, you kind of just have to hang out and not walk away, because you know it's in a matter of minutes that you're getting everything put together. Okay, so there's the chorizo. It's all done, ready to go. So we're just gonna get our onion and garlic and just dump it right on in, because it's pre-chopped, ready to go. So this meal prep is gonna pay off and save a lot of time. The one caveat I will say, I found out with the onion and garlic in the bag, that smell goes through your freezer pretty good. So if you have a separate freezer they use for certain things that you don't care about picking up flavors, that's probably what you'll want to do. Or while, you know, you can have your sous chef or somebody, spouse, cut these up, friends, enlist your friends into helping you. Have them chop the onions and garlic. And we're just gonna mix that straight in and let that kind of caramelize, let those flavors mesh together. And then we'll add in the peppers next once these kind of cook down a bit. And these are partially frozen still because I prepped them. Again, if they're fresh, you know, they should all cook around the same time. This might take a little longer because they'll release some of the fluid sooner and have to steam off. So we're good, we're cooking. As you can see, I'm getting a little impatient with the wind and everything, so I'm moved the pan sideways and put the food diagonally. And I lit both burners, so we'll see if that could speed up the cooking process here and get these juices evaporated quickly, so then we can get to our next step. Yeah, that onion and garlic is looking nice and starting to sizzle, get a little caramelized on the bottom. I'm gonna throw in and complete our sofrito with some bell peppers. Woo! Just cooking the peppers. I just went inside and came back out and took a whiff. Oh man, I wish you could be here. I wish you could smell it, but you just need to do this for yourself and see how good it smells. And it's gonna taste way better than that. I cooked this one time on a campsite and the security guards came up and they're like, and by that time we had already been on the campfire, we were eating, and they were like, we smelled something good. What do you guys got cooking here? And it was all gone. We would have offered them some. But, you know, out of like 5 people, we finished this whole thing. So this paella pan, I was gonna say, you could always upgrade to the bigger one, and I should have. Because then you could really use the 2 burners on a stove like this. And then, you know, you always cook for more people then. Just have more fun. But this is a good size for a family, or if you have a couple friends over, or you go camping. But yeah, if you go camping with a bigger group, I would definitely recommend upping to the next size up. I think this one might be 15-inch. Yeah, exactly. 15, 13, 15, whatever standard size they go. Smells good, those aromas. The wind's blowing this way, so it's like all coming in to me. So the peppers are right now, you can still see the steam coming off those peppers, and I'll show the shot when it's finished. Alright, so this is a good critical point. We have cooked the sausage well, and as you can see, there's not many juices left of the bell peppers. So everything's cooked down pretty good. I grabbed a piece of sausage and a piece of bell pepper, tasted it. Definitely could use a little more salt. So this is a critical point because we could season right now and taste it. You know, where the meat's, you know, not raw and things like that. So I'm just gonna grab my little bit of kosher salt here. Gonna do a hefty pinch on top. Like that. And then I have some smoked paprika just to add a little more pizzazz, I guess. And we're just gonna throw that right on there. We can mix that in. And then we're gonna add our tomatoes next. little extra seasoning done on the paella. But I just tried it again. I mixed it all together, tried again. I think I could use a little more salt too. I won't put more paprika just so I don't overly make it like crazy. But definitely another good pinch of salt. It got it about halfway there based on the taste. So I'm just gonna put that in. Just open the can of tomatoes. We're gonna dump that guy in there. And I'm gonna keep it because I wanna pour the broth in there, get all the good bits of that tomato in there. So this tomato is just gonna mix with all, just scrape up that bottom. It's gonna get all the good bits that have stuck to the bottom deglazed. It's gonna be a pretty thick. Okay, see that slurry? So that's like everything mixing together, having fun. I'll let this reduce just a tiny bit, and then I'm gonna add the rice in next. This is a 2-pound bag of rice. I think I did about 1 pound. So for this pan size, so I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it, do a one pound of the rice. Woo! That looks about good. All right, so we're gonna mix in that rice. And this is where like that rice is gonna, the first thing it's gonna soak up is everything we just put in, all the yummy goodness we put in this pan. We still have this on pretty high heat, so mind you, you wanna keep it stirring, keep it going. You don't wanna let it hang out in one spot too long. And the whole point of this is like high heat in the beginning, and then once we want to really cook the rice, let the flavors mix together, that's when we do low and slow. Okay. I'm gonna come and flip the camera so you can see what I'm working with here. There's the rice all mixed in. So we're just gonna throw the chicken right on top. But first we're gonna do the chicken broth. So just a quart of chicken broth will do. Bone broth is what I chose to do for this one. Let's see if this quart might be too much, but we'll see. I don't want it to overflow, because the chicken is gonna raise it too. So we're gonna mix that in a little bit. So you'll see some burnt spots, but it's gonna be fine. It's gonna taste so good. You won't care about that. It'll actually make it taste better. It's like a burnt marshmallow. So we're just gonna throw on these little chickies, like that. Oh yeah. Ooh, it's windy. Finishing putting on the chickens. We're doing skin side up. And yeah, like as I was saying, we're basically braising the chicken here. I mean, basically, we are braising the chicken here. So braising is when you're like when the meat's halfway out of the liquid, and that just makes it really tender. Oh, look at all these yummy juices. I'm just gonna pour that right on top. So it's barely on the rim right now. And so I want to get a little more liquid in. I think I can fit the rest of this. There's just a little bit left. So I'm just gonna pour this into my tomato thing. Swirl it around. Just gently pour it on top. I'm gonna reduce the heat to a medium low. I just have to be careful with the wind here outside that I don't get it too low. So it says medium, I see the flame still. Oh, and I just lost one. Got over 1 burner now. So it's pretty full. But now we're gonna put on the saffron. And this is literally more expensive than gold, yes, but it's worth it. It really is. And I'll show you why. This stuff, man, this is the stuff. It's from Iran. I'm Persian, by the way, so if you haven't, my olive complexion is from that. So this is saffron. It's the stamen of, I forgot the name of the flower. It's a pretty flower. It grows on the ground. Basically, it takes about an acre to get a pound or a half pound of this. And so it's very precious, but it's very good too. It has just this very aromatic, sweet aroma. So I'm just gonna sprinkle it on top, put on some of the chicken and the broth, and just let it marry all together. Make sure none of it gets blown away from the wind. And then we're gonna cover it up. Okay, as you can see, put the saffron just right on top. I typically grind it down as a Persian, so this seems sacrilegious just putting it in whole. But the way I see it is usually you steep it and you grind it and steep it into hot water. But you know, I put it in the seasoning with the chicken, so I know it's in there already, but I want to add a little extra, just oomph on top of that. Okay, so I got the flame pretty low, barely touching the pan, and I got it covered up. So I covered the handles. Since the liquid's so high, some of it is dripping down, so I'm just having this plate to catch it a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it's messy, and that's hence why I tune outside again. Just gonna watch for the steam and then kind of peek through every now and then. This should take about 20-30 minutes to finish off. Okay, so we're done. We cooked the paella. I just sat out here with a beer and actually started editing this video, but let's take a look. So throughout the process, I kept it on low heat, was rotating it, and now you could tell it's done because the liquid's mostly gone, and you smell kind of almost like a toasty burnt smell, and that's the rice toasting on the bottom of it. So just taking this off, you'll see how good this looks. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. So you could serve it as is right now, just scoop it out, and typically you serve it in the pan. I'm gonna just put this inside, let it cool down a bit, calm down, put it inside, and I'm just gonna heat it back up in the oven barely. And we're just gonna have a good old time eating paella tonight. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please post comments and even pictures of your paella and enjoy. Hopefully this inspired some of you to take part in this amazing meal. Alright, take care.